Howdy, welcome back to more JTReacts, and today we're watching the 5 American animals that have randomly appeared in the UK. My only question is, how the hell did they get across the ocean? How? How did they make it from America to the UK? Like, even if they can fly, that's a pretty decent flight, you know? We're about to get into it. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much. We just hit like 4,000 subscribers over here. I appreciate you guys. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. Let's try to go hit 5,000 now. Want to see more reactions like this? Let me know by hitting that like button. Other than that, let's get into it.
The ecosystems of North and South America are extremely diverse, and they're home to many animals that can't be found naturally anywhere else in the world. Some of these animals play very important roles in their ecosystem.
Look how beautiful. Just beautiful, majestic. Just out there just doing his thing.
And some of them are just hanging on.
Oh.
Even though the majority of these animals are perfectly suited to life in the Americas, some of them pop up in other parts of the world. Of course, there are many American creatures that are invasive in other parts of the world, but that's not the focus of this video. Instead, I will be focusing on individual or small groups of American animals that have popped up in the UK, and this strange occurrence is more common than you might think.
What on God's green earth is that?
Some North and South American animals find their way to the UK through the pet trade, and some of them escape from zoos. Some American animals can be blown off course during their migrations, and when this happens, it usually creates a bit of a stir. Without further ado, we can take a look at our first story.
Wait, what's a pet trade? That's gotta be illegal, right? Like, I feel like it shouldn't be legal to trade animals from one country to another country. What the hell is the pet trade?
This story is very fresh. Last week, in a lake in Cumbria in northern England, a strange reptile was discovered. It was first spotted by a dog walker in the shallows of a lake, and it was later fished out of the water in a shopping basket. Once it was on land, it was easy to see that this creature was a turtle, and a freshwater turtle is a very rare sight in the UK.
Really? Y'all don't have freshwater turtles that often? Dude, our pond in our front yard right now has about 60 of them. Like, no joke.
There are no naturally occurring turtle species in the UK, but there are a few small populations of invasive turtles from the Americas and Europe. Strangely, the reptile pulled from a Cumbrian lake wasn't a terrapin or a slider, as it was in fact an alligator snapping turtle.
Oh no, y'all got the worst kind. That's literally, that's the worst turtle you can get. I'm sorry. I think y'all need to exit the game and restart so that way you might get a better spawn or something. That's literally the worst turtle.
The alligator snapping turtle is the largest freshwater species of turtle in North America.
Yeah, like we got snapping turtles in our pond, but they're not alligator snapping turtles. No. I've never even seen an alligator snapping turtle.
And there are two other closely related species.
Yeah.
These turtles are powerful ambush predators, and they're known for their incredibly strong bite. Because this turtle is potentially dangerous, the British tabloids had a field day, and a massive fuss was made of this discovery.
Dude, they just go in and eat absolutely everything. Like, that's just what they do. Y'all see, they got the little thing in their mouth that looks like a worm, so they just sit there with their mouth open. Fish come up trying to eat that little worm, or what they think is a worm. Boom, gone, gonzo.
The turtle nicknamed Fluffy was taken to a vet, and it is now being discovered. The turtle nicknamed Fluffy was taken.
You nicknamed the alligator snapping turtle Fluffy? Come on now.
Taken to a vet, and it is now being sent to a reptile center. Of course, it's impossible for this turtle to swim all the way to the UK, and it most likely entered the UK through the pet trade. It's possible that someone bought this turtle not knowing how large they can get, and then when it outgrew its enclosure, they released it into the wild.
Yeah, if you're gonna get like a pet turtle, you need like a box turtle or something. They get about this big, eat like lettuce and tomatoes and stuff, you know? And they don't have powerful jaws. If they latch on, they won't let go, so...
Thankfully, this alligator snapping turtle was still relatively small, and I hope it has a very long and luxurious life in captivity.
Yeah, those things
For
get
our next
massive.
story, we will be heading over to Wales, and we will be heading back in time
My Wales people.
to February 2020. Caroline Brown was walking her dog along the canal in Risca, South Wales, when she came across a strange carcass at the side of the path. This carcass seemed to be reptile and fish-like, and this strange creature was at least 3 feet long.
Dang.
After pictures were taken of the animal, it was quickly identified, and the mystery creature was in fact an alligator gar.
Bro, y'all are getting like the most invasive species. Like, we got a lot of alligator gar here. especially in like a lot of our rivers and stuff. They're super invasive, they get really big, and they just eat everything.
As I'm sure many of you know, these creatures are native to North America, and they are one of the largest freshwater fish in the world.
Like a 3-foot one, that seems big, that's small. Dude, those things get like 10, 12 foot.
These creatures can be traced back to the early Cretaceous, and they can grow up to 3 meters in length.
Yeah, dude, they're dinosaurs. They're literally dinosaurs.
Predatory fish are very rarely dangerous to humans, and they primarily feed on fish. It's quite obvious how this fish made it to the UK, as the UK's laws on fish keeping are very lax. In the UK, you can keep many fish that are illegal in other parts of the world, and because it's a very niche topic, it's not policed very heavily. One of the main reasons why you are able to keep many exotic fish in the UK is simply because the weather is very mild. The vast majority of exotic fish are unable to survive in British waters, but some American fish would be able to. That's why you are unable to keep most American fish in the UK, but sometimes species such as the alligator gar slip through the cracks. It seems as though someone managed to get their hands on an alligator gar, and then was unable to care for it when it got too big.
I mean, them things are hardy. Like, I'm pretty sure an alligator gar can survive out of the water for like 3 days or something crazy like that. Like, they are freaking tough.
The waters in Risca must have been too cold for this fish, and unfortunately it led to its demise.
Wow.
Instances such as this aren't as rare as you might think. And if you do plan on buying a monster fish, make sure that you have the space for it.
Dude, just don't buy an alligator gar, okay? Unless you have a 30-foot long fish tank to keep it in, don't buy it.
For our next story, we will be heading over to London, and we will be heading back in time to March 2023. One ordinary night in a small London suburb, a strange visitor appeared at a bus stop. This creature was small, striped, and fearless. And it quickly scurried away out of sight. As I'm sure many of you can tell, this creature was a skunk. And
dude, y'all are getting like the worst of the worst right now.
Seemed very out of place in the streets of London.
Yeah.
It's believed that this individual was an escaped pet. And strangely, it's not illegal to keep them in the UK.
What?
Skunks could easily become an invasive species in the UK. And there are very few predators that would hunt them. If someone decided to release a bunch of skunks into the British wilderness, there's a very high chance that they could become established.
Oh yeah.
The climate in the UK isn't too different to some parts of northern North America, and this is where some skunk species are found. This means that they could adapt to the British ecosystem, and they would have arguably less competition.
See, like, they're invasive, but like, I don't know if they do anything real bad, you know, like besides like getting scared and spraying and it stinks really bad. I think they just go around, they probably like eat eggs and stuff, so that could be invasive, but I think they just like eat ticks and bugs and stuff like that, so like, yeah, you don't want to get sprayed by one, or you don't want to hit one with your car accidentally, because then your car is going to smell like skunk for the next 3 weeks.
Hopefully there will be stricter laws in place in the future, because if skunks became established in the UK, it would be bad news for the native wild.
I low-key understand why people keep them as pets, though. Look at him. Look at him. His little stink ass.
Wildlife. For our next story, we will be heading over to Pembrokeshire, and we will be heading back in time to September 2023. This was when birdwatchers across the UK lost their minds, as many American birds found their way to the UK. Hurricane Lee had blown many birds off course, and they flew over the Atlantic to the UK.
Wow.
More than 12 American species were spotted in Pembrokeshire, with many...
That is crazy that they flew all the way. Wow.
Birdwatchers gathering on Ramsey Island. Many small songbirds were spotted, including the Canada warbler that hadn't been spotted in the UK before. Some species, such as the bay-breasted warbler, had only been seen in the UK once before, and these birds really were a rare sight. These birds are now part of a long list of American birds that have made their way to the UK.
That's pretty cool that they can fly all the way over there, though.
Or there'll be many more in the future. For our final story, we will be heading over to Buckinghamshire, and we will be heading back in time to 2015. This was when a strange creature was spotted in a garden in Marlow.
That's not a strange creature, that's a golden retriever.
And at first, the owner of the garden thought it was a pet. After getting a closer look, she realised that it was a creature that was a lot more exotic.
What is that?
And she managed to capture the animal on video. She then went to the RSPCA for help, and they said that they believed the animal was a pet bear. It's quite worrying that the RSPCA came to this conclusion, as the animal was in fact a coati. These animals...
Oh, what? I've never heard of that before in my life.
Animals are native to Central and South America, and they are members of the raccoon family. These animals are very out of place in the UK, but strangely this isn't the first time that a coati has been spotted here.
They do look like kind of like a raccoon, just a little bit like in the face.
In 2004, a few individuals were spotted in Cumbria, and there's been a few other sightings dotted around England.
It's low-key cute though.
The coati in this story was eventually captured by its owners, but the coatis in Cumbria are still roaming free. It really is surprising that they can survive in such a cooler climate, but it's very unlikely that they will become established. In the wild, they mostly feed on fruits, invertebrates, small animals and birds' eggs. And just like their close relatives the raccoons, they are very adaptable. Even though these animals have shown that it is possible that they can survive in the UK, it must be very hard. And maybe there will be more sightings to come.
Wow.
If there's any other stories that you think should have made it into this video, then let me know down in the comments below.
So people just like, they be getting just random pets and realizing, hey, this probably shouldn't be a pet. And then they just release it into the wild, like, bro. But I guess that is going to do it for 5 American animals that have randomly appeared in the UK. Those were pretty random. Like, that's just so crazy how, like, people just get them. Like, who do you contact to be like, you know what? I want an alligator gar. You know? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. If y'all want to see more reactions like this, let me know by hitting that like button. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see y'all tomorrow.